Well, welcome to the first episode of the Bleav in A's podcast.
We believe in A's baseball.
Super excited to be here with the Bleav Network. This is your host, Tyler Texeira. Been a diehard A's fan my whole life. Some of my best memories have been at O.Co Coliseum, and I'm super excited that they're playing in Sacramento now, my hometown. I also have my co-hosts here, Luke Mitchell and Devin Neel. Luke, I'll start with you. How'd you fall in love with A's baseball?
Honestly, the first ever team that I played for in Little League was an A's baseball team. So right then and there, I fell in love with the green and gold. And then growing up there, going to the O.Co Coliseum all the time, it's the most beautiful stadium of all time. The cinder block field right there, beautiful. I love it. And it made me fall in love with baseball.
Yes, sir. Dev, good to have you on.
Yeah, family's from Hayward, so I've always grew up a split Bay Area supporter. Even more excited that, like you said, now they're here in Sacramento, and for our futures, at least for the near future, and the kids out here, they get to grow up with a team in Sacramento. So I just think that's super cool and super exciting. And like you guys said, grateful to be here on Bleav talking about the A's.
I didn't even say that. I just love being from Sacramento. Now we have MLB baseball in Sacramento. I can't believe it.
Yeah, can't believe it. And we got to give a big thanks to the Bleav Network for believing in us, giving us this platform to talk about, something that I've loved since I was a little kid, and that's A's baseball. Really a dream come true. So, yeah, this is the first episode. Tune in every week, twice a week, 2 episodes per week. We'll be covering the A's all year and talking about, our favorite A's memories at the end of each show. So it should be, a fun start to this segment.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, so how I fell in love with A's baseball, man, was going to the O.Co Coliseum with my dad multiple games a year. That 2012 year was the first magical year of A's baseball for me. Ever since then, that has been the number one thing in my life, is supporting the A's and, being there for all the great moments. We'll get into all those later in the show. But, yeah, that's just the intro of our Bleav in A's podcast.
Yeah, no, being there with you, I feel like you introduced me. Besides that A's team that I was on in AA, Little League right there, you definitely propelled my love for the A's too. I know I grew up a little bit of a Giants fan earlier, but then that green and gold color combo, perfect and beautiful. And then going to O.Co Coliseum, the fans there, all of that was beautiful. And I just hope that it continues out throughout the time of the A's organization.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful time right now in Sacramento to be supporting baseball.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we can jump right in. The A's have officially won 2 in a row. This is before they play the Orioles tonight in Sacramento. But last night they beat the Orioles in Game 1 of the series, and before that they beat the Twins. So that's 2 wins in a row for the Athletics after losing 20 of their last 21 games. Before they lost those 20 of the last 21, they were 1.5 games out of first place in the AL West. I had big hope for them. They were 2 games over 500 before that stretch, so I still believe that the A's can, propel and get on the right track again, and they have a really promising young core to this team that I truly believe in. Shout out to the network. But, so the A's are 25-40 at this point, 11 games back of the AL West and 10 games back of the wild card. There are still some bright spots on this team, though. What do you guys think?
I 100% agree with that. There's still plenty of baseball left in this season. Obviously, we saw them, like you said, a game and a half out of the first in the AL West, and now they're last in the AL West, which I'm not gonna be bashing on them too much, because that's the way baseball is. It's game of runs pretty much. We could say the same about any other sport, but baseball, it's a team that's hot.
Yeah.
And a team can win 10 games in a row. Like the Rockies can go on a 10-game win streak right now. With the A's, I believe that they can go on just as big as a win streak, just because they're young players that they have right now. It's taken them a little bit of a groove to get what they have and, find the consistency. But just with Jacob Wilson, a rookie right now, I'm not going to jump into the show too much, but he's the fresh sign right now why the A's have a bright future. Why they have a bright future right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the best shortstop in baseball. We'll get into that later.
Also, live score right now, bottom of the third. A's are up 4-1 on the Orioles right now.
Hey, we could be good luck for this A's team. Ever since we signed the contract with Bleav, they won against the Twins, and now they won against the Orioles last night. And, hey, it looks like they're going to get another dub tonight. Hopefully I don't jinx it.
Hey, it's only the bottom of the third.
Hey,
so.
it's looking good, though. The offense is really carrying this squad. The pitching has been definitely a struggle all year, especially pitching in that Sacramento minor league ballpark. But I believe in this offense more than anything, and I think that the starting rotation can get on track and, make some things happen for the A's.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minor league squad that in Las Vegas, I feel like always has fresh arms coming through that we could definitely, bring up to the league and just test out. Just because our bats are so good right now that we could, or they're starting to get hot again at least, that we could rely on runs. We can rely on that offensive carrying besides like trying to shut down all these batters. And luckily right now we're playing a cold Baltimore team that we can, jump up a little bit more in the standings right now.
Yeah, sure. Either that or, a trade for maybe either a big name pitcher or maybe a couple middle tier ones. But just a shakeup like that, could give them more momentum that they already have after these last 2 games. But you never really know when that's going to happen. I always like to say with the third wild card spot, though, you're never really out of anything. So with a switch up that they could make, and it could give them some momentum. They're only 10 back of the wild card with more than half the season left.
Yeah.
So, we're really believing in them. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. But yeah, last night, I guess we'll jump into that. The A's won against the Orioles 5-4. JP Sears got the dub. He's been a bright spot in that pitching rotation. Even with the 5.2 on ERA, he still had some good outings. He is third in the league in home runs allowed, though, and that, plays a part playing in that Sacramento ballpark. So many home runs out there. But I still believe in JP Sears, and I think he's probably the best pitcher on this staff right now, given that Severino has been struggling as of late.
I was going to say the same thing. I've been a JP Sears fan for the past few years.
Yeah.
I will say that when he shuts them out, it's a clean ball game, and he can shut out a team like some of the best hitters. He did it last year. He shut out the Yankees a couple of times, I'm pretty sure. And but then when he is letting them hit, then they are going far.
Yeah.
And it's a little ugly to see. But his control, his command on all of his pitches are there. But when he comes up against the batters that can hit his off days, it's a little ugly. But I love him.
I'm a big fan as well, and I think he's a guy who you could really, maybe even look to bring in a fresh group of pitchers around and kind of build your rotation around a guy like JP Sears. Lefty, he's got good stuff. And the ERA is kind of inflated, I would say, partly because of that, Sacramento ballpark. We're going to see that with, relievers are going to go into Sacramento, have one blow-up outing, and their ERA is going to be high for the rest of the year. That's just how it's going to go. But, yeah, I like I said, I think he's a guy who you could make your number one. He could even be a high-end number 2, but that's the guy that they should build the rotation around for sure.
Yeah, definitely agree. And, going on the offensive side, the A's offense really showed me a lot last night. Lawrence Butler in that leadoff spot has been killing as of late. He is third in the league in doubles right now, so shout out to my guy, Lawrence Butler, the Law Dog. He had an RBI last night as well. Jacob Wilson also in 3 of 4 with 2 RBIs, and he's on a 7-game hit streak. No surprise there for the best shortstop in all of baseball, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's a lot of people's opinions right now.
Yeah.
Jacob Wilson is looking at the rest of the league, the shortstop position is one of the weaker positions in the league right now.
On the offensive side,
on the offensive side, for sure. And then, obviously, there's defensive gems anywhere, but nobody is hitting as hot as he is right now.
Yeah.
370 this last month as a rookie.
Yeah.
Batting just as good as Tony Gwynn when he was younger. So, if he keeps that up, we are watching history right now as A's fans.
He's a guy you love to have in that lineup for sure because he's not going to strike out. So whenever he comes up in clutch situations, runners on base, he's a guy where you could really have confidence in that he's going to put the ball in play. And he's starting to take a little bit more walks now too, which is even better and an even greater sight to see because, that average, like you said, it's up there at 360. If he's taking those walks, he's just going to be an on-base machine.
Yeah.
Plus that defense that he's playing over there at shortstop. He's definitely, in my opinion, like you said, the best shortstop in the league this year. When you're producing that offense from a defensive, a real defensive heavy position like catcher, center field, shortstop, whenever you're getting big offensive numbers out of those positions, it's just a plus. And so I think he's definitely the best shortstop in the league right now.
Yeah, I love that you're on board with that. Coming from a loyal Giants fan, saying that the A's shortstop is the best in the league, definitely well deserved. And I love that you brought up his walk numbers. They definitely have been on the rise. He didn't get his first walk until about over 20 games into the year.
That's what. And then also his first strikeout too.
Yeah,
I know that's old news, but it's still crazy to talk about. That.
Yeah,
a rookie didn't get struck out plus 25 at bats or walked plus 25 at bats into his whole career.
Yeah, we were watching before we started the show of last night that RBI single he had in I think the 3rd inning, and And Devin's just asking me, like, how did he hit that ball? That ball is at his feet, at his ankles. And he uses the barrel. He doesn't have a big stride or anything. He just wants to put the bat on the ball, and it's been working for him. Shout out to his dad, Jack Wilson, as well. Definitely has showed him the ways to hit that baseball, where the players aren't.
I just think it's even crazier because when a guy has that much of an elite contact tool, sometimes they're not always swinging at the best pitches. They go up there knowing they're going to make contact, so sometimes they may be swinging at bad pitches. He's still staying in his zone, swinging at good pitches, and then that's why the average is still up there.
Yeah. He doesn't need no torpedo bite either.
no torpedo for Jacob Wilson. But yeah, also the rest of the A's offense, Brent Rooker has been hot lately, 2-of-4 with an RBI last night. And Soderstrom had an RBI ground out as well. He slid into first base head first, was out on the play, but I love to see the hustle. Dallas Braden brought that up, and he said, hey, that's something that can ignite this ball club. And that's, after a big losing streak like that, you see the hustle running into first base, going head first. That's just a do-or-die play. And
from one of your lead guys, too.
Yeah, from probably your best power hitter in the lineup besides Brent Rooker.
And like you were saying, he's getting hot right now. He did have a little bit of a cold start to the season. Didn't get to 10 home runs until kind of recently. Yeah. But he's there, and his batting average is going up right now. It's our old Brent Rooker that we used to see last year, his all-star self right now, I feel like.
For sure, definitely well-deserved. Another guy I got to give some love to is J.J. Bleav. They called him back up from AAA after, I had big hopes for him coming into the year. I said he was going to win a Gold Glove in center field. I said that he was going to be, that number 5 hitter in that lineup every night, and neither of those things were true in the first half of the year. He's hitting about $198, and he's playing not a good center field, so they decided to start him in left yesterday, and I think that's his true position, and he looked good out there in left. But now Denzel Clark is out with an injury after making that incredible catch last night, so he might have to slide back over to that center field position. Hope he gets more comfortable out there.
Yeah, no, it's we do have a few uncomfortable guys, I feel like, in outfield right now.
Soderstrom as well.
Soderstrom is he can play. He can definitely play, but it's a little, kind of unorthodox.
Definitely.
Is what I would say.
Yeah.
But it's a development right now. All of them are so young. The amount of players that we have that we can plug in and pull out anywhere on the field is perfect right now. Especially in the infield too. With shortstop and third base. Obviously Jake Wilson isn't going anywhere. But third base, we can plug in a few people there and have a few good people at that hot corner.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Denzel Clark, before the injury, was 1 for 2 with a single. His bat has come alive lately after that series in Toronto, his hometown, where he robbed that home run. Yep. Really got the attention of most of the league, and now last night made that incredible running catch, running into the wall. Risking his body for the team, and that's something that I want to see more from this A's team is, putting your heart out there. And I think this is a good start for that team. Seth Brown also got called back up from AAA, went 1 for 2 last night. So love to see him back on the A's. I was scared that, another team was going to pick him up, but he kept his head down and grinded in AAA, went 7 games in a row with the home run, earned his way back up to the bigs, and I think he's going to stay here for a long time. He's the longest tenured A, that's for sure. Yep. But he still got some, pop left in his bat.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, it's that's undoubtedly.
Yeah.
It's we're just always wondering when the next one is going to be going out. I feel like right now.
For sure.
All right, when is he going to? Especially with runners on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his with runners on in scoring position, it just goes up all the time.
Yeah. He's a clutch player for sure. We've seen some big hits from him over the years.
Luckily, I just read that Denzel Clark is only on with a bruised shoulder.
Okay. So he'll be fine.
Yeah. And I feel like Denzel Clark had a little bit of a cold start too when he started out, but watching him in center field, dude can make any play that he wants right now.
Yeah,
just his first few games, robbing a home run and then running full speed in the wall he's putting his body on the line. Is
saving multiple runs each night. It seems like in center field for Denzel Clark. So he reminds me a lot of Coco Crisp.
A lot taller
Coco Crisp, but the defense in center field, I remember Coco robbing so many home runs out there in center, and that's that guy we need every night in center field to, just solidify that defense out there in the outfield, because Lord knows it has not looked great in the outfield this year. With Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler has struggled as well. Like I said, J.J. Bleav struggled in center, and if you're throwing Seth Brown out there in the outfield, we saw last night, ball hit right over his head, he misread it. So I don't feel too comfortable with him in center field, but I do feel comfortable with him at the plate.
Luckily, those fences aren't as far as Oakland Coliseum
for
fences
sure.
out there.
And they're padded too.
Yeah.
That could have been a lot worse, but Tyler told me that he's a guy who, he may not be the best hitter, but he's going to come up and play great defense, and that's what he has done so far. That's why he's here, because they needed better production from that outfield spot.
Yeah.
And, I said it earlier, center field's the most important outfield position, and you want a guy out there who's good at defense. And so if he could kind of learn to take good at bats and kind of hit at the major league level like he's doing right now, getting better, developing, sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the game before that, really quick, the A's killed the Twins 14-3. Mitch Spence started coming out of the bullpen as the opener. He can go some innings though, so he went about 5 innings, got the win. Jacob Wilson went 3 for 5 with the homer. Tyler Soderstrom had 2 home runs in this game and his first career grand slam with 6 RBIs. So shout out to him. Sody Pop getting the bat going once again. And the rookie, Max Muncy, hit his second career home run, pimped it out to left field. The bat flip was insane. Had 3 RBIs on that as well. I love seeing Max Muncy back up in the bigs. I hope he can, develop into something great. And I also really believe in the development of Max Muncy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. It's just, again, had a little bit of a struggle, going into that beginning.
He's still hitting 180.
Yeah, but just recently he just was in Las Vegas and was hitting, over 300, I feel like. And then him coming back up, he just needs that confidence, I think. He's too young to just kind of come in and play that top-tier ball. He needs confidence to build right now. Yeah. And then also, again, he's kind of a little bit lower on the skill level that we have with his position coming up right now. He's going to be kind of in the back pocket, a little, a substitution right now. But it's lovely to see him hitting that pimp right there.
For sure.
That was nice to see.
He pimped that one for sure.
Yeah.
Out to left field, the bat flip was crazy. But it was interesting to me that Mark Kotsay decided to put Mason Miller in the 9th inning of this game, even though the score was 14-3. Mason Miller has been struggling as of late, and I think that was kind of a confidence builder. Hey, we still want you out there for every 9th inning. Yeah. And he got the job done. And then we saw last night he came into play with a 5-out save, came in the 8th inning with runners on, got 2 strikeouts, and then in the 9th inning, pretty easy 9th inning for Mason Miller. That's our guy Miller time. So yeah, every time he comes in, I have faith that he's going to get the job done.
No, I feel like Kotsay kind of put him in to just help him with his stats a little bit, because he knows he's been coming into the 9th inning, and he's been getting banged on
ever since that Marlins game.
It's but it's definitely a confidence boost, but then also just get your stats, man.
Yeah, I like that move for sure. Kind of get him into a lower leverage situation to build that confidence, get the stats right, like you said, if that's what they're looking to do. But then coming in was it the day after?
Yeah.
So coming in night, yesterday and getting the 5-out save, that's kind of
huge.
You want to say it kind of worked, right? It got his confidence up there. He got in there, got the 5 outs, threw 3 straight sliders to the last batter when he's got 103 in his back pocket. So, I think it was a good move. I think it got him feeling good. Yeah. And I still think he's one of the best closers in baseball. So
100%.
Definitely.
People go through slumps. Yeah. People go through their hard times, and he's going through his hard time. He's still, 4 years into his career?
And I will say that's tough for a closer or a guy who's used to coming into higher leverage situations to do. And that's why you usually don't see the closer used in a game like that. Mm-hmm. But, I think it was the right idea to build the confidence and to get him I still got it. I can still do this. And then the next day it paid off for him.
Yeah, for sure. That was big for, the confidence of Mason Miller. But the injured list right now for the A's is stacking up like a lot of teams in the MLB right now. Shea Langoliers just got put on the 10-day IL with an oblique injury. That's our starting catcher every day. So Willie MacGyver definitely will have to start it in the catcher spot every day until Shea gets back. But I do trust his ability as a rookie. But we definitely need Shea back in that lineup as one of our best hitters.
100%. Yeah. He's quick, too, on the bases.
Yeah, he's actually very fast for a catcher.
We need those wheels on the base. Yeah. And then his arm, too, behind the plate.
He's one of the best catchers in the league. I think he's top 10.
Oh, he's top 10, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Is he better than Patrick Bailey? Shea Langoliers. Is Shea Langoliers better than Patrick Bailey?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, right now. Defensively, probably no. But offensively, definitely. But yeah, some other guys on the injured list for the A's. First baseman Nick Kurtz is out, and he's expected to return June 9th, so a couple days away. Need him back in the lineup as well. He was getting going before he got hurt. Yep. Miguel Andujar, who can play, third base, left field, anywhere you want him. He's a great hitter against lefties especially. He should be back in late June, so pretty much this whole month he'll be out.
A little bit of time.
Yeah. The right-handed pitcher, Gunnar Hoglund, is out as well. He had some good outings in the starting rotation after getting called up. He should be back in mid-June. And a guy that's kind of forgotten right now is Zach Geloff.
That's,
yeah.
Like, I mean, he was a productive guy.
Last year he had a good year.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he hasn't played for, the beginning of the season he played a little bit.
March
No.
26th.
No,
he
he was
went
out.
on the
Yeah, he
IL.
hasn't played all year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously, you could say forgotten, but dude hasn't really played at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Last year he hit over 20 homers. He did have a low average. He hit about 220, but Zach Geloff is kind of known as one of those young, good second basemen
Yes,
that could
100%.
have some high potential.
He was a guy that we brought up, and we got rid of Nick Allen, too,
Yeah.
so we could try and bring him up.
Shout out.
But, no, yeah, shout out Nick Allen.
Shout out.
But Zach Geloff, like, I'm excited for him to come back. 'Cause
Yeah.
he definitely has that potential and that defensive ability that we need at second base right now.
Yeah,
100%.
It says his expected return is mid-June, so hopefully he can, get back on the field. He's on the 60-day IL, though, so
Yeah.
not a great sign. But Gio Urshela also on the injured list. He should be back in the end of June. My favorite pitcher on the entire A's organization, JT Ginn, should be back at mid-June as well. He was having some great outings before, and probably the most inconsistent reliever on this A staff, Jose Leclerc, who we signed the big signing this offseason, should be back in the second half of the year. Hopefully he comes back with some more confidence because the first half of the year for him was not a good one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a little depressing to see that,
It was.
that going on. I was excited for him to come, and then also Severino, too. I was really excited for him to kind of start out 4-0, but it's quite the opposite.
I haven't been too mad about Severino. He's been getting rocked a little bit in Sacramento, but on the road, he's actually one of the best pitchers in the league. But Jose Leclerc, from the day one, the game one of this year, he gave it up in the 8th inning when the A's should have won that game. So I have not had a lot of confidence in him all year.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. It's just, with Severino starts in his games that he's played, at the end of his game, it's just like he starts to get him on base, and then whoever comes in to relieve him kind of
gives it up.
Yeah.
It's not help when you don't have a good bullpen behind you to get you out of situations.
Yeah. So nothing towards Luis, but
yeah,
it's just tough right now.
Jacob Wilson is the Rookie of the Year favorite, hitting .369 with 8 home runs, 36 RBIs. He is second in the league in average, only behind Aaron Judge, also in total hits, and he's only 23 years old.
Luke's lock of the week.
Luke's lock of the week is Jacob Wilson, my favorite player, and he's really only 23 years old, so that is just crazy to see. He's the best hitter in all of baseball besides Aaron Judge.
That makes me feel bad,
by the numbers.
He's younger than me, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to be 23 years old, and he is doing this right now. It is crazy to see, and he's just so confident up there at the plate every time.
No, he's going to be a face of the league in the next 5 years.
For sure.
100%.
And last night when he got his third hit in like the 8th or 9th inning, the announcers were just laughing. Dallas Braden and the other announcer were just laughing because they're like, this guy is just so good. You just can't get this guy out.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do as a pitcher to get this guy out. Well, this has been a fun episode. The last segment that we will end each show with is one of our favorite A's memories, throwing it back a little bit. But I will start with this autographed bat right here from my guy, Kurt Suzuki, my favorite catcher of all time. I was at the game in 2012 when it was A's versus Yankees, the last game of the series. I went with my brother and all his friends. They're all wearing Yankee gear. There's a ton of Yankee fans in the crowd. I'm in there with my Kurt Suzuki jersey on, and they pull me out of the crowd and say, hey, we have a prize for you if you want to go on the Jumbotron and get interviewed and answer some questions. So I went and answered some questions about, why Kurt Suzuki's my favorite player. Pretty much just said because he's a catcher and he wears number 8 and he's just a good ball player. And they gave me this autographed used bat by Kurt Suzuki, and he hit a home run in the next inning. And the A's went on to win that game with a walk-off. Shout out to Coco Crisp. Walk-off single in the 9th inning. My brother wanted to leave before the game ended, and I said, no way, we're staying. And it was definitely worth it. So one of the best A's memories for me. I
love that.
That was a crazy memory. How we got that bat, right? Yeah.
We actually we hit with that bat just not too long ago.
We did hit with that bat. Didn't have the same success as Kurt, though. That's for sure.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Hey, real top heavy, I will say.
Definitely maybe a torpedo bat. That barrel is definitely heavy. But yes, just because it's the first show, we'll try and get through one memory for each person. So, Luke, your favorite A's memory that comes to mind?
I got so many that are just popping to mind. But right now, I have one that I really want to start out with. Me, my mom, my little brother going to a game. First game I ever think I went to with my mom at Oakland Coliseum. One of the only ones I ever went to with my mom. And with her job, we got hooked up with some kind of box seats down by the third base line. First row, pretty much. And I brought this like kind of shiny like A's baseball. There's a little like not a hologram, but like a picture of Oakland Coliseum on one side, and then it's all white on the other with the A's logo. And I show up with a pen, and I'm just like, "Yo!" shouting out all these players, like all the bullpen catchers, bullpen pitchers at the time. And then I see Sean Doolittle walking out. I'm like, Sean, Sean. And then he like one of his guy, I think it was his bullpen catcher, like tapping on the shoulder, like points at me. He's like, all right, running over.
Yeah.
And then one of the security guards comes over. He goes like, yo, you got so lucky because nobody ever comes out in the middle of the game to sign an autograph. So, I mean, I have a signed Sean Doolittle ball at home right now.
Shout out. We got the Sean Doolittle gnome right up there. Shout out to Metallica as well.
I saw that gnome. I was like, the Doolittle signature definitely is one of those top memories. So, shout out Sean Doolittle.
Shout out Sean Doolittle.
I remember him in 2013, 2014, closing out games, getting me hyped.
In
we
the
have
right
the same red beard, Sean. If I grew it out, we had to have the same red beard.
Hey, shout out Sean Doolittle, one of the best relief pitchers in A's history.
Yes, sir.
Dev, I know, diehard Giants fan his whole life, but also have always supported the A's. Me and Dev have had some battles in the park playing against each other. I was the A's, he was the Giants, with the tennis ball and the wiffle ball. So definitely a big A's supporter your whole life. But what's your favorite A's memory?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, a lot of my A's games memories are A's Giants games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I won't bless your guys' ears with those ones just yet. But I remember coming home from school one day on a Friday. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but your dad took us to an A's game. It was A's Phillies. I think we got there during Phillies batting practice. I'm pretty sure you got a ball right away as soon as we stepped foot. We sat in the right field bleachers, which was a thing. Every A's fan knows that's a thing, and it was rowdy how it used to get from 10 all the way to 16, all those years. The ball four rage, that was a kind of little bit. That was a little bit before.
Bash, right?
I don't remember, but that was a little bit before the day we went. And I think they ended up beating the Phillies. I'm not too sure, but just, getting to experience that, sitting in right field is something that I've never, there's nothing like it at any other sports stadium.
Yeah.
So it was pretty crazy, pretty rowdy. I mean, some dudes were, shouting some things we probably should have been hearing at that young age, but, that's how A's fans are. And it was just amazing. So
playing the drums, blowing the horn. Some of the best memories of our lives.
It was beautiful times.
This was the first episode of Bleav in A's. Shout out to the Bleav Network for signing us. We will be back every week on Thursday and on Sunday for a new episode. So stay tuned. Thank you, Bleav, once again. We'll be back.
Cheers.